Hi folks, Jon Bushey here. I am way behind on posting videos because there was a death in the family and I've been working on a lot of other projects. So on this video I'm doing something I haven't done before. I'm going to put 4 videos all on the same video, and that way I can kind of get caught up. 3 of these are bare land and one of them has a house and a lot of land on it. So let's get to it. This road leads down to the first 2 properties. There's one on the left and one on the right. Oh, and by the way, all of the properties in this video are in Valencia. You can see there's cornfields here, so this is kind of an agricultural part of Valencia. And I'm going to be putting up these little titles to tell you where it's located and the size and price of each of these 4 properties. And I'm including a sketch of the properties. This first one, and so there's water on the property. You don't have to worry, you can't get water. This first one could use a little bit of cleaning up. That's that path that we just walked down. And so yeah, we'd want to get rid of some of this vegetation, clean up some of the trees and things like this. So this is the far end of the property. The property corner is down where that man is walking. And this is a pretty good sized piece of property. And there was an old house. And I'll just move the camera. Again, that's the road, the path that came in on. And down at the end of this path, there's a car parked. My car is parked basically on the cement. So there is a cement road down there, and it's not too far. I think you can see it, yeah, right around in there. So the cement road isn't too far, and of course they say there's a plan to make this path that we're on, that road, cement also. Who knows when that will happen. That's where the old house was, and it got all torn down. And looking around, this part of the property doesn't need as much cleaning up as the other part, and so it might be a good idea to just clean all that junk off there and build a house at that same place. It's a pretty good price for this property. This property is not too far from the center of Valencia, and it's reasonably priced. Maybe part of the reason is because the road isn't real good out front, but if they do end up paving that in the next couple years, then you'd have a really nice piece of property. It's a good investment. Because some places with cement roads are always more valuable. You can see notches cut in these coconut trees. That means they actually harvest the coconuts. That's our crew right there following me around as I'm videotaping stuff. So yeah, they harvest coconuts by climbing the trees. The second property is right across the street from the property we just saw. And so the location and everything is about the same. This one's more expensive because it's already been subdivided, like it's going to be sold with individual lots. This is a gate that leads into the property, and it's again next to these cornfields there, and it is fenced already. And so that's another advantage of this property compared to the other property. There's a fence down the side, and then there's a fence here on the front. This fence is just some wire, barbed wire, and they've used cement posts. You can kind of see a cement post there behind all that ivy and the vines growing all over the place. There's another cement post. So it's good at keeping out some things, but it's not as good as an actual cement wall, which is what they use a lot in the Philippines. So this is a working coconut plantation, and they have people that come and get the coconuts, and then those are sold. So it is an income producing property. But it has been subdivided and surveyed and everything that you could see on that sketch. And so the trees will probably be cut down then, and houses will be built there instead. Of course, if you buy it, you can do whatever you want with it. This next property is a little bit more per square meter and a little bit smaller, but this one includes a house, and so that's kind of a big deal. It's not a great house. It's what they call in the Philippines a native house. But still, it is a house. That's the neighboring house. This is the road, so it is a cement road, and the house and the property borders this cement road, which is a big advantage. That's the road going the other way. It's a well-made road. There's our crew again, and my car. And so this is a pretty good property. I think the price is pretty good. It has a house. It's close to power. It has water, of course, because there's an existing house. The existing house is included in the prices of this property. So let's go inside now. Now that we've seen the frontage, let's go inside the property. So it's kind of a long strip with the house being at the road, and then it goes back from there. So it's not a very wide property, but it's a very deep property. This is the back of the house. We didn't go inside the house because people are still living in there, but I wouldn't expect too much from that house. It's not a luxury house by any means. But you're only paying like an extra 300 pesos per square meter, and you get a house. This one is also fenced. On this side, it has the wire again with those cement posts in between. And there's looking back to the road again. But on the other side, it has an actual cement wall. And so that's kind of nice. It might be the neighbor's cement wall. So here we've moved a little bit farther back into the property. The house is still in that direction up there. Here's the crew again. And there is that area that you just saw there, like a little workshop or something, that's the neighbors. So we're standing at one edge of the property looking into the property. So there are neighbors quite close. You can just kind of see through there a gray cement wall, and so that's the other side of the property. It's still fairly wide, but it's a lot deeper than it is wide. And this property also needs a lot of cleaning up. There's a lot of trees and stuff in here, and you can again see the cuts in the coconut trees, so they are harvesting some coconuts from this area, but it certainly could have that vegetation cleaned up and a lot of the trees cleaned up. Now we've moved to the very back of the property, and you can see that cement building there, all in a cement wall. That belongs to some apartments that are behind this property. They come into those apartments on a different road, way over on the other side. And so there's no one, driving on your property or anything, but there do happen to be apartments back there, and that's their water tank for the apartments. And I think I'm spinning around. Yeah, that's the apartments themselves. So this property is pretty good, and in a way, it includes a free house. Now let's take a look at the next property. This property I'm very excited about. It's very large, over 6,000 square meters, 2,500 per square meter. That's maybe a little bit much because this property doesn't have a house or anything on it, but it's huge. So this is the road. Now that blue car, that's parked on the cement road. And so this little road here is not paved or not cemented, but it would be easy to do that. And that's the water, so there's water there. This post right here, that corner, that is the corner of the property. And now we're looking into the property. And the property goes a long ways. Basically, everything that you can see that isn't a house off in the distance, like those red roofed houses there, that's not included in the property. But the property line is basically at those houses. Very large piece of property. And it's already been cleared, as you can see. The property also goes to those coconut trees in the far distance there. It's a little odd shaped, but I don't consider that to be a detractor to the value of the property just because it's so big. There's a lot of things you could do with this property. Let's just peek through this fence. There is a neighbor's house here, and behind the camera there's kind of a built-up area with a cement wall. Yeah, this part here, that's another house, not included. Neither of those houses are included on this property, but the property is very large. You can see some people working there. It looks like they're farming or something. The property owner is renting to those people, so they're using the land with permission. Of course, if you buy it, you can kick those people out or whatever. Very exciting just because it's so big, water's so close, it's already cleaned up, and it's so big that there's just a lot of things you can do with it. So here's my contact information if you're local. I'll put my international contact information in the description. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns or anything at all. You can contact me by my Philippine phone number, or you can contact me by a USA phone number. You can also contact me by email, and that's probably best. Thank you for watching.